Hey y'all. So today we are looking at our a sentence from our transportation choices model essay. You are going to participate in a language dive to explore how linking language is used to create cohesion between a counterclaim and author's argument in an essay. In the end, you'll create your own. So the sentence that we're looking at says, however, if more people use public transportation, it seems likely that the frequency of service will increase. So once again, that whole sentence is, however, if more people use public transportation, it seems likely that the frequency of service will increase. So take a second to think about one, what does this sentence mean to you? And two, how does this sentence add to your understanding of the guiding question? Now, I know sometimes we forget those things, so the guiding question is, given our limitations, what factors should we prioritize when making choices about our food? All right, and if you need more time, pause the video and take as much time as you need. Make sure you get those two questions answered. So we're going to look at our first chunk. The first part says, however. However is a transition word. So how does the transition word, however, clarify the relationship between the information that comes before and after it? You guessed it. If you see the word however as used in this sentence, it shows that the information is in contrast. Remember, contrast is different. So, can you think of any other linking language that can be used at the beginning of a sentence to indicate contrast with the sentence before it? Some things might be on the other hand, nevertheless, despite this. Can you think of another word or two? So let's look at chunk two. If more people use public transportation, how does this information and this chunk connect to the writer's main claim? If more people use public transportation, the first thing you do is want to think about, well, what is the main claim? This author is saying that people should use public transportation. So how does if more people use public transportation connect to his main claim? So this chunk also talks about people using public transportation. So let's just look at the word if. If. What does the conjunction if tell us about people using public transportation or using transportation? If. So if means that it is uncertain and may or may not happen. Okay, so let's look at another chunk. Chunk three. It seems likely that the frequency of service will increase. So, can you figure out what frequency of service means? Frequency of service is how often buses and trains are available for people to use. So, what will happen if the frequency of service increases? Go ahead and put your answer here. Think about what will happen if the frequency of service increases. All right, and if you need more time, just go ahead and pause the video. So now let's look at a few words from the text. Let's look at the verb seems. Now, seems is a linking verb. It tells us that the writer believes something is there. And then let's look at the word likely. So likely is an adjective. So what does the adjective likely tell us about the clause the frequency of service will increase? Something likely. So likely means that it is probable or expected to happen. Probable or expected to. You're not 100%, but it's expected to occur. And finally, the author has the word that right after. Seems likely that why do you think that is there after? I'll give you a hint. It connects to something. Go ahead and try to figure out what this is. So now you're going to practice. Use the following sentence frame to talk about your plans for next weekend in your own words. It seems likely that you're going to put an independent clause here. Now, remember, an independent clause is a subject plus a predicate. It seems likely that. Tell me what you're doing for the weekend. You're going to type that right in here. And if you need more time, go ahead and hit that pause button. Really think about the clause that you are putting in there. Make sure that you have your subject and predicate. We're going to look at our whole sentence. However, if more people use public transportation, it seems likely that the frequency of service will increase. So this is a cause and effect relationship between events in this sentence. Something causes something else to happen. So there is a cause and effect relationship between people using public transportation more often and more buses and trains becoming available for people to use. Now, if tells us that the second event is conditional to the first. So remember, you think about cause and effect, and then you think about which one depends on the other one. We talk about conditional things, which one depends on the other one. So take a second to think about what in this sense makes you think so. I think that's supposed to be in the sentence. What in the sentence makes you think so? Go ahead and correct that. And you're going to type your answer right here. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video as always. So, how does this sentence then support the writer's claim? Now, let's keep in mind the writer's claim is people should use public transportation. So, how does this sentence support that claim? Well, it provides reasons to support his idea. And remember, his idea is that more people should use public transportation. Now, what do you think of the meaning of this sentence? Go ahead and type your answer to that here. Really think about it. However, if more people use public transportation, it seems likely that the frequency of service will increase. More people use it, the more buses and trains that are available for them to use. And then finally, go ahead and practice. Use a sentence frame to write a sentence for the counterclaim paragraph of your essay. Use linking language, comma, if, independent clause, it seems likely that, independent clause. Remember what your clauses mean and look at your examples for linking language above. And as always, ask your teacher if you have issues. Have a great day, everyone.